I generally like people my age.
I think people my age are basically the same as me. They're just normal people.
Some are vandals, but some are very nice, like me.
They're disrespectful.
Some of them are very rude to older people and disrespect the laws of the community.
People my age are mostly alright, but some of them, you do get the odd person who has to be violent and cocky.
My age, tosspots.
I wear like baggy clothes and I don't wear like designer makes or anything, so like I get bullied around like gyps and punched every now and again and stuff like that.
Well, I am old, aren't I? Well, I think they're all right, anyhow, I must do.
Perfect. Perfect.
Oh, I think they're terrific. Know it all. I think they do like.
Well, I think our generation has done very well. To say we had hardly any medicines of any kind. And we've lived this long.
I think it's a human being, same as anybody else.
We're all dumb. Did you say?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not speaking for you. Excluded now.
I think they tend, and I feel that children, have need a lot to be desired nowadays, but I do think they tend to dwell on it all rather too much, because there's lots and lots of really good kids about.
I think the trouble with a lot of the older people is that they envy the young.
Yeah.
I think old people are quite narrow-minded at times. They see a group of young people who say drinking and smoking outside a shop or something, and they think that's what every young person at our age does.
Some people, old people, like, they criticise you a lot, like things you do they don't like, and they're always like telling you off and stuff like that.
I think old people can be cute sometimes, talking about the war and stuff, but some can just be mad and stupid.
I think old people can rant and moan and be boring sometimes, but I get on with them and they're fine with me.
Well, some old people can be alright, but you get really stubborn, old mardy ones who think they own the place.
Some like are a bit stressy, like they don't like you making noise or anything. Like when you're playing out, they get a bit grumpy.
I think old people are very self-centred.
Some old people are too proud for what they are and think that they are better than what they are, but many are easy to get on with.
I think old people can be quite fun in general, but some of them are stuck in the old fashions and ways and need to learn of new technologies that this earth provides.
I think that lots of old people sit in rocking chairs and smoking and drinking tea because they're boring and old.
They should just be in their homes, shouldn't they? They shouldn't be allowed on the streets. They're just out of it, aren't they?
I get called all sorts of things, when I when I confront these kids, I can't say anything on the ear, but it's really bad.
Oh, see that silly old bugger's back again.
Silly old fools and everything like that.
Well, because we complain, we're a pain in the bum.
We can't mind our own business.
A bloody nuisance at times, I should think.
Well, I think the younger people aren't bothered about the older people.
Well, they don't sort of want to know any old people, really. There's very few people that you can really say that, I'll help you to do that.
They haven't any particular time for us, because we haven't anything that we can really pass on with.
Maybe they haven't got a lot of time for older people. Probably we didn't in our time when we were younger. We never thought about old age in those days.
I think sometimes I think we're just in the way, as it were, but there is a very good sort of society who have always cared for their mothers and fathers, and I think that's the usual thing. But unfortunately, most children, like my children, they have such busy working wives and such busy lives that they really haven't much time to do much for me, but they do what they can. I'm not complaining.
The young generation, the little devils have got away with everything. My grandchildren have. But I'd bring the next if they belong to me.
Well, they're just wild, to put it bluntly, my opinion. I mean, I know that both parents probably go to work where they didn't used to do, and therefore I don't think they're controlled enough at all.
Oh, they're nice kids now if they keep quiet.
I have no, complaint about them. What I read in the papers that happens everywhere else with, gangs of youths robbing old ladies and doing all sorts to them in their own homes, I think that's terrible.
The younger generation are lacking manners.
Lazy. One word.
See, we took more notice of grown-ups and authority.
Oh, they get it too easy, don't they?
They don't entertain themselves, not like we used to do.
There doesn't seem to be enough of the right things to keep them occupied.
They don't know how to sort of exercise their, their abilities, sort of, so they turn to trouble and stealing and things, but it's only a certain time.
People talk about the young people, but I find them very courteous and nice. I don't see anything wrong with them today. They're like they've always been. There's always been the tearaways, haven't there?
Young people today have, for some reason, they've got a poor name, but when you look at it deeply, there's more good, honest young people than there are bad.
I think the first class that I've run into, kind of a very first class, no trouble at all.
Yeah, I think they're great workers, and I think they're smashing people today.
Oh, I think they're all right. I think, well, I wish I was your age now.
Like I say, if you treat the kids all right, they're all right with you.
I think old people see us as quite immature and non-respectful.
I think that they think we're too different to what they were like because of the generation gaps and stuff like that.
Old people probably think that we're too old for us. We act too old than we actually are. Going out and buying alcohol and stuff like that.
They see all young people as violent, drug rebels.
Criminals, I think, if they see a group of youths on the street corners, they'll think they're up to trouble or doing something wrong.
I think they see them as a nuisance and trouble causer.
They see the young people as vandals and not for what they really are.
I bet they think we're like menaces and we're just making a load of noise. But I bet they were like that when they were younger. Yeah, I'm not having any of that.
Oh, my grandparents are nice, but they're old.
I like my nana very much, but sometimes she cannot understand what I am doing something for because she's stuck in the old-fashioned ways that she was brought up in.
And they always tell me off for things that they don't like and always criticise what I wear and what I do and the people I hang around with and things like that.
My grandparents are alright, they buy me loads of stuff and give me loads of money.
I love them, there is. I think my grandparents are nice. My grandparents are brilliant and they treat me well.
I quite like my grandparents. They always have stories to tell.
Well, in my own grandchildren, they look upon me as an old granddad who has a lot to say for them, helps them out a lot. And so I don't know whether younger people respect the older people like we used to do years ago. But I know from my own family, they love me, granddad, and they'll come round to see me. So I hope all families are like that. It is nice to have youngsters around you.
Oh, they're wonderful. I've got 2 of them.
We got 10 grandchildren, but we got 6 great-grandchildren. And they're wonderful.
Brilliant kids. My daughter's 2 lads. They'd do anything for anybody.
Oh, they're gorgeous. Yeah, got seven grandchildren, 3 grandchildren and 7 great grandchildren. Yeah, oh, they're all lovely. They all love the nan. Oh, gorgeous. It was one thing I always wanted to be a grandmother.